Can we talk?
Welcome back, Captain. Understood.
Hey, anybody?
Andy's going to take... Just breathe, Kelly. Ah! Stop making that noise. They'll hear you. Who's out there? Really? I would be indebted to you for life. But how do I know I can believe you? I'll have to come out to assess it myself. Hold on. I'm opening the door.
Let me just catch my breath. I swear, my heart's trying to punch its way out of my chest. Lowe, I'm so lucky you came along. I know it sounds crazy, but a little while back, I'd been gearing myself up to take a long walk off a short turbine platform. Then the security mechanicals broke out into a massacre, and I realized I really want to live. How can I help you help me get out of here? I'm Kelly Marine, the receptionist. And before you ask, I wasn't manning the visitor's desk when the mechanicals went haywire, because no one comes here. Not ever. Not since all us station workers were dropped off at the start of the project a year ago. Project's on a yearly rotation cycle. Once a year, Auntie Cleo reviews our work and decides if we get more rations, personnel, deadlines, that sort of thing. At first, I thought it was an honor, getting assigned to a lab up in the ether high above Olympus. But I didn't know what it'd be like, day in and day out. Cabin fever sets in at about 90 days. Auntie Cleo's official term is contagious irritable claustrophobia, and it ain't covered by the company's medical policy. If I had to guess, you'd probably find his body either in his office or the labs. Or heck, he could have been on the toilet. I don't know. No bones about it, he was the smartest of us all. Maybe he evaded the automechs, too. Like what? Just a feeling I got. Every day was the same as every other day. I felt like I was stuck in a circle, you know? Started imagining what it'd be like to break that circle. Station goes in a circle around the planet, so what if I just dropped off the edge? But after what I've seen, after what happened, I don't want that anymore. I want to live. Do I ever? Drop me off on the groundbreaker and I'll be out of your hair in no time. Pink slip protocol. How should I know? I just monitor the front desk. Well, except for the last couple of days when I've been hiding out in here. If you work at OOPS, you're doing research and development. If we're not researching or developing fast enough, the protocol's there to put the fear in us. Somebody messed up. When one of us makes a mistake, the whole facility pays for it. I know it sounds harsh, but it was in our contracts and everything. Yep. Olympus Orbital Pharmaceutical Station. Auntie Cleo's naming and branding department's the best in Halcyon. I'm not making anything. The research team, they were brewing up some improvement to Auntie Cleo's anthracillin. Science stuff isn't really my area, though, so I don't know more than that.
Try not to think about the structural integrity of this place. Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned anything.
Process.
Here they come!
One down!
reminder. Please pay your gravesite fee.
Well done. We're still alive. One team is attacked.
System.
Have your back, Captain. Felix is down! No, that won't do it all.
Imbecile. Shush. No talking. Concentrating. Damn it. I almost had it. The formula was in my mind and I almost had it. I was so close to a breakthrough, I could practically taste it. You really did pick the worst time to manifest. Oh, hang on. I see what's happening. You're real. Ergo, not a hallucination. This is interesting. I have several questions for you. Let's start with the obvious. Who are you, and how are you even alive? All sorts of things. Science, mainly. A little bit of research. If you're talking about all the dead bodies, that'd be the Pink Slip Protocol. Right. That answers that. Next question. Do you come bearing fresh pharmaceuticals?
This guy looks like he's had enough.
Look, we all know you're here to interrogate me. If I'm going to go through this ordeal, I'm not doing it sober. New friends mean new birthdays to keep track of, and I can't spare much room in my mind palace for frivolous trinkets of information. But in this case, I'll make an exception. No, you don't. There's nothing interesting in the chem lab. There's nothing interesting in Gorgon at all. Gorgon is a featureless rock dragged along by the gravitational current of a barren asteroid belt. The chem lab is a graveyard. You won't find anything there but the dead. Well, it wasn't me. I've been stuck in this place for ages. In any case, it's becoming obvious you're not listening to sensible warnings. If you've set your heart on exploring my old labs, I won't try to dissuade you. Indulge me with a favor, and I'll give you the access you want. The electromechanical turbine is offline. Without any power, I can't possibly continue my work. Be a dear and reactivate it for me. That's all I ask. No, I'm not stepping out of my lab. Not under any circumstances. I can't bear to look at what's out there. Take the elevator to the storm platform at the top of this facility. Reactivate the turbine, and I'll give you the access you want. Of course you do. Well then, let's hear them.
Certain we are not all about to die horribly. Relatively.
Jackass is incoming!
one's done for.
Wasn't really following what you did there, but I guess it worked.
The facility's back on the grid, and my pipes again floweth with the sweet, sweet essence of my salvation. I suppose I have you to thank for realigning the machine. Of course, Jaspwer, you imbecile. You'll need my voice to get into the chem lab. I'm obviously not coming with you, so I'm giving you a recording of my dulcet speech. This recording should get you into the chem lab. I hope whatever you're after is worth the trauma. I wouldn't go back there if I was higher than the mercury levels in a can of salt tuna. Wait, take my gun while you're at it. If you end up dying on Gorgon, there's a non-zero chance I'll feel partially responsible. Neither of us want that. Die, perhaps? Automechanical sentries are generally programmed to ignore corpses. I don't like the idea of going back to that place, to that life. Yes, I know it's not me risking my throat gallivanting around Gorgon. It's you, for whatever madcap reasons you've got. I've helped you once, and I don't feel great about it. I made a clean break from Gorgon, and now it feels like you're asking me to tether myself back to that place. I suppose you've got a point. Or something resembling a point. I'm emotionally addled right now, and I'm allowing my sentiments to get the better of me. Here, my personal security keycard. There's a hallway near the processing room. It leads to a security terminal. Use this keycard to unlock the hallway and disable security. Even if I wanted to talk about Project Gorgon, I couldn't. All my memories of Gorgon are intact, but they're in disarray. Like a book with its pages shuffled. Making sense of those memories requires clarity of mind. Clarity that only Sky High gives me. To tell you everything I know, I'd have to be dangerously euphoric. All right, just one inhale. Easy does it, Jaspwer. Have you ever seen a lake as still and clear as a mirror? That's how my mind feels right now. The disaster at the chem lab was my fault. I tested adrenotime on primals. I decimated my own research team. And I was a coward. I locked myself up in isolation. I told myself that I needed silence and solitude to perfect my formula for Sky High. But the truth is that I was ashamed. Nothing? Everything? I told myself I needed a drug to help me focus, help me work. The weight of guilt crushed my capacity to work, but if I didn't work, then I was worthless. Adrenotime was like that. It was designed and marketed as a necessity, an elixir of productivity. It made you feel guilty for not using it, and then hurt you when you used it. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I suppose you're right. I do need to relax. Up you go, old friend. And just like that, the demons of my mind have all gone silent. I'm a scientist. My entire life is built on the foundation that science is a force for good in the world. I believed in Project Gorgon. Spacer's Choice didn't. The compound that we discovered on Gorgon had all the makings of an elixir. It could have been the greatest medical achievement since the discovery of antibiotics. I'm saying Spacer's Choice never saw anything in Gorgon beyond profit. Adrenatime would have taken years to develop responsibly. We needed time, resources, room to make mistakes. Project leadership panicked at the first sign of a mistake. They gave us no resources, slashed our time in half, and demanded we produce anything marketable. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I shouldn't. Thank you, but I'm starting to reach the threshold of my tolerance. I'd have to clear my mind in order to answer your questions, and that requires a truly irresponsible dose of Sky High. And admittedly, a truly spectacular high. All right, I'll humor you. Indulge you even. For what better life could a scientist want than one spent answering questions? Up you go, old friend. The author, Dr. Olivia Ambrose, was one of the most brilliant minds in Halcyon. She wouldn't have kept a journal for something as tawdry as mere sentiment. Dr. Ambrose never made it out of Gorgon alive. That's the sort of thing that happened to the project's best minds. They were killed. They turned marauder. Or they became me. Gone. Like smoke in a breeze. Sky High clarifies my mind, and I can see that my confidence was only ever an illusion. I never had the courage to tell Dr. Ambrose that I admired her dedication to her work. I never had the courage to stand up to corporate on behalf of my staff. I'm starting to lose sight of my own thoughts. Entropy reasserts itself in the palace of my mind. The high never lasts more than a few moments. I can't tell you how badly I want another hit right now. You're right. I'm tempting destiny, inhaling a dosage this high.